It appears to be the group that's done this are the ones that did file it. We're just giving them the benefit of the doubt. This Honor Network, this is the global program to shut down free speech, though. Okay, it's not just the Second Amendment. And I have had down in San Antonio at our open carry event, people come over and physically start pushing into me saying your free speech is hurting, you know, the death of my daughter who got killed by someone, as if I shot their daughter. When statistically the areas that don't have guns have the highest crime rates, don't have legal guns. I mean, you're not for Obamacare, you're racist. You're for the Second Amendment, and my grandson got shot. Well, I'm sorry, it was crackheads robbing a liquor store that shot your grandson, not me. Just like if somebody runs over a crowd with a Ford F-150, it doesn't mean Ford did it. I mean, this is just basic common sense. But let's get away from InfoWars when we go to the calls. I mean, you're welcome to bring up this case. It's that you've got so-called net neutrality coming in. The way Obama packages it, it sounds good, but it's the takeover of the web. Just like he's going to give you free health care by taking it over and it isn't free. So they're lying with labels. And you've got Congress having hearings. We've got links to it on Infowars.com where they're having hearings. Feds hold hearings on whether they should, quote, regulate sites like Drudge, Infowars, and others. So after the fake Sony hack that turned out to be an inside job, we've now seen legislation reintroduced there to pass cybersecurity that's basically SOPA and CISPA. So it's all coming down right now. So it's bigger than InfoWars. I want to explain to you that this is about your freedom when you're getting your pension funds taken. This is about your freedom to say no to Obamacare, which is on the verge of being overturned. We are really pushing back against the globalists right now. All the metrics, all the numbers show it, so they're scared. And the anti-gunners are losing on every front. So Bloomberg and Bill Gates and Warren Buffett have given collectively hundreds of millions of dollars in the last election cycle to anti-gunners to try to unseat good sheriffs, to try to politically put pressure on police chiefs that are not criminals, Democratic police chiefs they're going after, Democratic sheriffs. These groups went after the Travis County sheriff, who's a black man and does a pretty darn good job. I'm just mentioning he's black because they say he's racist because he will hand over to the feds. This is all over the news here. And they say it with bated breath. Oh, I can't believe it. He deports up to 15 illegals a week. He gives them to the feds. They're aggravated felons. He releases illegals that aren't aggravated felons, which he shouldn't be doing. He's a hero because usually they just release the felons. And he's racist, though he's a black man. I mean, no. The law says that he has to give them to the feds if they're an aggravated felon. I mean, that's where I live. This coalition of Democratic Party is trying to get rid of their own Democratic sheriff. I mean, these people are authoritarian. It's like the governor, Cuomo, of New York last year said, if you're pro-life or pro-gun, get out of the state. People said, are you serious? He said, yeah, get out. You're not welcome here. Do you realize how authoritarian that is? You're pro-life or you're pro-gun, get out of the state. I mean, these people are out of control. And now they file this copyright claim, claiming we have their Fox News footage when it's David Knight talking, showing a BBC News article where one of the Sandy Hook kids is up there supposedly dead in a bombing. So I'm going to go back to your calls, but just analyzing this, there's so many angles. News director of InfoWars Nightly News, Rob Dube, you've hosted debates on this subject. We've shown both sides. We've been attacked for saying, you know, it might have happened as said, but there's some anomalies. We've been attacked for other reporters saying, no, I think, you know, this is staged. Clearly something staged. So first off, let me just ask you both point blank, doing deep research on this the last few years, David Knight and then Rob Dube, just briefly, what is your view on Sandy Hook?
Well, that's a can of worms. I think we're not getting the truth from day one. We weren't getting the truth.
And I suppose you don't believe Brian Williams either.
Oh, yeah, of course. You know, after interviewing Halbig a couple times, having a debate with him, watching that film that came out that was censored heavily, that this coalition of people put together, I interviewed them right before that debate. People should go watch that whole InfoWars Nightly News. I mean, that's a lot of information on Sandy Hook. a couple years after it happened. We were coming up on the 2-year.
I wonder if they're going to censor that and take that down.
They might. I mean, we were talking about it.
I mean, we're not allowed to have 2 different guys on to debate it?
Exactly. And one of them was an American Free Press writer who is friends with Lenny Posner. And he's like, I know him personally. We're friends. You know, you guys are making a big mistake having Wolfgang Halbig on. I said, well, why don't you debate him?
Oh, I love that. You're making a big mistake.
Yeah. And so
see, we're not even supposed to have a debate.
Right. You're not
in
even allowed to
America.
talk about it.
And if you look at that debate, the guy who was opposing Halbig never offered any reason, never responded to anything that
he just attacked Halbig.
Halbig had some very specific questions, and the guy always just attacked Halbig.
Why didn't they call rescue helicopters?
Exactly.
On and on and on.
Yeah.
Why were the ambulances not even at the school? They were stuck at the firehouse.
Why did they classify the investigation? They've never done that with any previous shootings.
Right.
Why did they knock down the school and destroy?
Why did Mayor Bloomberg alert his people to get ready the day before for a big push?
Yeah.
They made it a felony to release birth certificates or death certificate information. What kind of country is that where you can't release birth certificate and death certificate information? I mean, if there's, you know, what have you got to hide, as they like to say to us? You know, what have you? Why are you so concerned about privacy? What have you got to hide? But it's only if you're going after one of their, I think it looks like an operation. It looks like something went on there, and it
drill.
Stinks to high heaven. It stinks to high heaven. You got the actor father who comes out, gets into character. I was a theater major. I worked with actors. I used to watch them get ready before they would go out and cry like that. I remember
you have a degree in theater.
I was in the play Our Town, and I'm sitting there watching these other people about to go out and do the funeral scene, and they're pumping themselves up, doing exactly what he did.
He's laughing and smiling, and then
he walks out, and then he's totally sad, crying. He was cracking jokes right before. That's an actor. That's an actor. I'm sorry.
You're not allowed to say that. I mean, Brian Williams was shot down in that helicopter.
There it is, right there. He's smiling. I mean, he's just.
And then he huffs and puffs and gets some.
And that's what that is a telltale sign of somebody acting right there. Now, I don't know for a fact that this guy's an actor. That looks like acting all the way. It's just amazing that they continue to really go after people. I've got an article here from a guy I think was our last caller, Michael. He's been getting all kinds of grief from Mr. Posner. Anything that comes out, social media shut down due to Sandy Hook false copyrights. What's interesting is they list the address for the Honor Network in Boca Raton, Florida. You look up the address on that, which says 908 North Dixie Highway. It is the address for a women's clothing store and a UPS U-Haul rental place, U-Haul neighborhood dealer. So here's the 908 North Dixie Highway. There is no suite, but it's got 2 different buildings listed that address. One is a J&J Shop women's clothing store, and you go to the other one, same address, U-Haul neighborhood dealer. Now you go to their About Honor Network. I go to this one right here, guys. You can leave the camera right there. Honor Network right there. It lists
They say they're in Connecticut.
It says they're in Newtown, Connecticut, but you go to that address, it's a U-Haul UPS store. I'm sorry, it's a UPS store. Same address, Main Street, Newtown, Connecticut. It's a UPS store. So, and then you look on their website, what are they pushing? Donate, donate, donate. What did they push right after this? Donate, donate. There are millions of dollars people have given to Sandy Hook and the families. They've gotten government money. The police department got like several $1 million just from the federal government alone just to deal with the grief. So there's millions of dollars of money pouring into there. You think, you know, if they had this organization, they would have some sort of headquarters where they would be setting up a memorial.
Well, we'll just start investigating that. And I guess I'm going to have to probably go on up to Newtown. I'm going to have to probably go investigate Florida as well.
And going back to that Pakistani article where it shows the child's photograph from...
that was on the BBC.
Right. Even Snopes, the cat lady, even agrees with us. All right, they say
she's the ultimate authority.
Ultimate authority. Even they say we're mostly right on this, even though they call us info bores. But they are saying this is weird. Why is this kid's photo in with all these other kids' photos?
And let's make the point.
And it's not just one spot either. It's the kids holding it.
New listeners tune in every minute. Pakistan terror bombings. It's on BBC and a bunch of other places. They're showing Posner's kid, Noah, who reportedly died at the Sandy Hook event.
Right, in several locations.
And we're not supposed to ask that? And then we get a guy on to debate it, and we're nice, and he's like, you guys are making a big mistake?
Yeah.
The article that Adon put up, he documented very clearly a lot of different pictures. We had 2 pictures from the French press agency, the big one, as well as on their Facebook. There were at least 2 from the BBC.
There was
a Facebook page in the Pakistan school. There was a memorial wall in Pakistan.
There's
multiple sources. So why is this? And here's a question, Alex. Did they complain to the BBC? Did they complain to the French news agency saying, you're photoshopping our kids' photos into other stuff, which is the basis of what this honor organization is supposedly talking about, that they want to shut down anybody that misuses the images of their kids. Did they talk to the Pakistanis about this? Did they talk to the French news agency, to the BBC? I'd like to know. I doubt it.
And you made a point that this is the same group going after Bushmaster, the M4 manufacturer. Break that down.
Yeah, really, if you look at this, they're suing the gun manufacturer, saying that this is a gun that should never have been out there because it's a military weapon, so it should never have been sold to civilians.
And if they have their way, all semi-automatics will be shut down. Go ahead, sorry.
But here's the bottom line. This is a group that is going after